Hello, and welcome back to the next part of my TradeSkillMaster Deep Dive guide series. In my last video, we talked about the TSM group tab, how we can create the groups, and also how we could import item IDs, already created TSM groups, but also how to add all the items by specific variations into our own created groups. Okay, so the next step would be creating auctioning operations for all the groups and all the items we would like to sell on the auction house, or even if we want to run a cancel scan. Okay, so we're gonna have a look first again on our groups from the last part. Today we're gonna create auctioning operations based on you have crafted the items or you have farmed the items on your own, even the current Raid-Boe is, okay? We won't make an auctioning operation today when it goes to flipping or sniping items. For that, I would like to make a separate TSM profile and also a separate TSM guide video for that. So, first of all, we would like to create a material group. But, first note in here, if you want to create a TSM auctioning operation for materials, keep in mind you got a lot of bait stacks sometimes, especially when it goes to the war within materials. So let's say an item has a value of 50 gold, someone just posts one stack of that material for 20 gold and hope that someone posts their full stack of, let's say, 200 for the same price, so he just snipes the cheap posted auctions out and we post it for a higher value. And this could also happen if you run a TSM post scan for your material group. So normally I would suggest currently to use the Blizzard frame in order to post your materials. So here you could have a look on all the current prices. So we're gonna have a look on it later on when we have created the auctioning operation for materials, okay? So to give you a better understanding of why I prefer to post my materials manually with the Blizzard UI instead of a TSM post scan with an auctioning operation. But if you still want to use TradeSkillMaster for that, we're gonna create the first auctioning operation for materials. So we go to the operation tab, click on the auctioning operation and hit that little plus icon. Then we rename it to Materials Dragonflight, because I would like to make a Dragonflight material specific auctioning operation first. You have the details tab, the posting tab and the cancelling tab. In your general option you have the ignore auctions by duration. When posting or cancelling auctions at or below the selected duration, they will be completely ignored. Means if you select in here, let's say short, so less than 30 minutes, you ignore any already posted auctions from other players if the duration of them are below 30 minutes. That is then for the cancel scan, but also for the post scan of your items. But personally, I would like to use it to the non option, okay? I don't want to ignore any duration of already posted items. Then we have the management option. You could also ignore the operation on a specific faction wheel. As example, of course, to Alliance Irida or Horde Irida. German Irida. But also Alliance Blackmore, or maybe also you want to ignore the operation on Horde Blackmore, okay? But also here I select nothing. I don't want to get them ignored on any VM or faction. Same goes with characters. You could also ignore the operation on specific characters, but also here I would like to ignore nothing. Also, you got the group management in your auctioning operations, so here you could also attach the operation already to one of your groups. Okay, you could select multiple ones or even a full group, including all these subgroups in here. So let's say we want to add it to the material group, and then you select the group to add it, okay? And you get them displayed in here too. But I don't want to have the Dragonflight material group in the main group of materials, okay? Because if I add them here to the main group, all the subgroups also have that operation, okay? But I don't want to do it like this because I want to have it only on this little subgroup. So you could either use the operation tab in here, so you activate the override parent operation and then you add the materials Dragonflight group, or you do it here in your group management option and then you just select the, where is it here, the Dragonflight subgroup. Okay, then we go back to the group tab in here and then you have the Dragonflight subgroup, and only that subgroup has the current created auctioning operation added. Okay, so we have explained the detail tab. Now we go to the important part, and this is the posting tab. Here you define the auction duration, your post cap, the amount you want to keep in your bags maybe, or also the don't post after this many expires. First step on materials, I would like to post these for 12 hours only. Okay, then the post cap is based on how many items would you like to post into the auction house on each auction house scan. On materials, I would suggest to maybe use a post cap of 50 or 100. If you just want to post your auctions, log out and have a look on the next day if you got sold something, you could also use a higher amount of, let's say, 1000 if you farmed some materials before the post. Okay, but personally for me here, I just set the post cap to 50. Then the amount you keep in bags. Would you like to hold some stacks of materials in your bags? So would you like to not post everything you got in your bags? If so, add the number of the amount you would like to keep. Okay, so also here, if you would like to have 20 materials of each left because you want to use them maybe for any crafts, just add the amount in here. But let's say we just farmed all that stuff and we would like to sell all the materials, keep it to 0. Don't post after this many expires. We already talked about it in the first video where we explained the tooltip settings. Let's say you have activated the expired information. If an auction expires, it will count the number of 1 in your item tooltip. Okay, do I have here something which got expired already? No, I don't think so. But based on the expired since the last sale, you could also add a function in your auctioning operation that says, let's say your auction expires 5 times already. Would you like to even try to sell them again, even if it just expires that many times? Let's say you add a 5 in here, and the item expired 5 times already. You wouldn't like to post it again at your next post scan of TradeSkillMaster. So you keep it in your bag, and then you could also keep it into your bank or move it to another realm and try it there to sell it. But personally, of course, I don't mind if that item expires 5 times, 10 times or 15 times. I would just try to sell it again and again and again. So this option here is also by me set to 0. Yeah. Then we got the posting price, and here we could define a bid percentage based on the current price it gets posted for, the undercut amount, and also here we add our minimum price, the maximum price, and the normal price. So set bid as percentage of buyout. I don't use the bid function at all, so I keep it to 100%, so I don't use the bid function. Let's say you type in here 80%. Okay, so we would like to use 80% of the current cheapest posted auction as our bid price. So 80% of 98 gold and 75 silver. But I don't want to do that, so I keep it back to 100. Or was it 100 or 100%? 100%, I'm sorry for that. We go to 100. Oh, okay, it changes automatically. Perfect. So if you don't want to use the bid option, just keep it to 100. Or materials also, would you like to undercut the already posted auctions by a gold amount or a silver, copper amount? Personally, on materials, it doesn't mind if you undercut it with a gold amount, or if you keep it to 0 copper. On materials, keep it to 0 copper. That means if you want to post skin and someone posted that material for 98 gold and 75 silver, you will post it at the same price. If you say you want to undercut it with 1 silver, what I don't recommend on materials, you would post your material based on 98 gold and 74 silver then. Okay, but I keep it back to 0 copper. So, and now we go to the next part, and this is the maximum price and the normal price. And we could use some simple strings in here. It doesn't have to be complicated like the default calculations. Okay, first of all, we would like to define our normal price. So what is your normal price? Let's say the material isn't posted yet on the auction house. What would be your price then in order to post it? Okay, and here we got some fancy sources like the market value, the recent value, or the region market value average. On materials, I would like to consider 2 values, the market value and the recent value. So the average value calculated from the past 14 days, but also the current recent value based on the recent snapshot of the Blizzard API. So the more accurate value when it goes to fast moving materials like the war within materials. Okay, so I would like to have a normal price of, let's say, also these are just examples, you could also adjust all the percentage amounts we're gonna use here right now. Okay, but to give you a default calculation, we could use the function max. Okay, the function max with the bracket icons takes the highest value within the brackets and defines it as our normal price. So if you want to have a normal price of materials, I would like to use either 115% of the DB market, okay, or I would like to use 100, and let's say of course to 150% of the DB recent value, and then we use the closed bracket item, the closed bracket icon, another brain lag. So what it does, it compares 150% of the DB market and 115% of the DB recent value of every specific item which got added to the group where we add the operation. So in this example, we would like to compare the market value of 106 gold and 38 silver and 95 gold as recent value. So whatever is set higher compared to that calculation, we're going to use this value as the normal price. So in this case, the market value is higher compared to the recent value, so we're going to use 115% DB market as our normal price. Okay, and also, like I said, these are just examples. If you think you may want to use a bit more higher values, you could also use 125 or 135 of DB market and even DB recent. Okay, but please try to stay a bit more realistic when it goes to the prices. So please don't use fixed gold values like 9 million gold. Okay, no one would like to pay a gold cap for one material. Okay, so please don't use this, and please also don't use 60,000% of DB market. This wouldn't make sense to me. Okay, so our normal price would be max 115% DB market or 150% of the DB recent value, depending on which one of both is higher. Okay, so we copy the string in here and then we add it to the maximum price. So we could basically use the same calculation, but for the maximum price we take the percentage amount a bit higher. Okay, so we adjust these values and let's say we would like to have a maximum price of 125% DB market or 125% DB recent. You could also use, let's say, 135 DB recent and 135% of DB market. Okay, same function. The highest value gets calculated or defined for the maximum price. So let's say the item already got posted for, let's say, 5,000 gold. So is 5,000 gold actually in that range of 135% DB market or DB recent? If so, you undercut it based on the same value of 5,000 gold. But if your current maximum price string is lower to the overpriced item on the auction house, then we have this little option in here. What if the maximum price of the current posted item is higher than your own maximum price calculated by that string? Would you like to don't post that item then? That wouldn't make sense, to be honest. Would you like to post it at your minimum price, at your maximum price, or at your normal price? So let's say we use the post at maximum price, which means if the current posted auction is above your own maximum price, you would post your item, your material, for your own defined maximum price. Okay, pretty simple too. And now we got the minimum price in here, and also we have the same calculation in here. We could use a lower value of, let's say, I would like to have at least maybe 85% of the DB market value or 85% of the DB recent value. So, but we are not done yet, okay? We don't want to actually have the highest value in our minimum price compared to the 85% of DB market or DB recent. We want the lowest value in order to define our minimum price for our materials. So instead of the max function, we simply change the max to min. So min with the bracket icon, 85% DB market or 85% DB recent. The lower value gets defined as our minimum price in here. Then you also got the information here when below minimum. So what would you like to do with your item if it's currently posted for below your minimum price of min 85% DB market or DB recent? Would you like to don't post that item then? Would you like to still post it but based on your minimum price calculation, your maximum price, or your normal price calculation? I am a big fan of the option ignore auctions below minimum price. Simple explained, if an item is currently posted for below your minimum price, you would still post your item and you just ignore these auctions and you undercut the next best price, which is over your minimum price. So, bad example, let's say your minimum price is at 40 gold, but someone posts that item for 35 gold. You would ignore the 35 gold posted auction and you pick the next best price above 40 gold in order to undercut it. So let's say the next best price would be 42 gold, you would undercut the 42 gold posted auction. Okay? Last but not least, we also have the canceling tab in here. Cancel undercut auctions, of course, if you got undercut by any other player, you would like to cancel that auction by a cancel scan of TradeSkillMaster in order to repost that item. So in order to undercut the other person too. Cancel to repost at a higher price is default set to no. You could also set it to yes. What it actually does is, if you have posted something for let's say 39 gold, but you could also post it again for a higher price because you are the current cheapest poster, then you could also define a repost threshold. So example 2, you have posted it for 39 gold, but the best next price above your value would be 40 gold, or let's say 41 gold. Then the repost threshold is also 1 gold, which means the difference between your posted price and the next best price would be at least 1 gold in order to cancel it and to repost it for the current higher price. Okay, but you could also change it to, as example, 5 gold, the threshold, 10 gold, or maybe 100 gold, but you could also say I want to repost my item only for a higher price if the next best price is at least, let's say, 5% TB market of the current value of that item. You could do that too, of course. So if you would like to use that option, activate it to yes, define your own threshold, and then we are also done with the cancelling tab. So now we have explained the auctioning operation. All these tabs, we have set it up our minimum, normal, and maximum price for the materials. And of course, we will have a little look on the group tab in here now. We got the material dragonflight group. Then the operation is also attached in here. And then let's have a look on the item tooltip. Of course, we have the TSM auctioning information with our min, normal, and max price. So what kind of values do we actually use in order to post that item based on these strings we have made before? So the minimum price would calculate us for the Awakened Fire 88 gold and 78 silver. The normal price would be calculated at 122 gold and 62 silver. And also the maximum price for that item, for that material, would be 100 gold and 143 gold, brain lag, and 94 silver. Okay, so the auctioning operation got attached to the first group, the material group, and we would also like to create the next one for the farmed Transmog item group. Okay, so we go into the auctioning operation tab, add a new one, and call it farm transmog items. And we also use this operation for both subgroups, okay, for the base item and for the item level. So we could also go into the detail tab. We then add it to the main group of farmed transmog items, so it get added to both subgroups in here. Then we're gonna do the same in the posting tab. The auctioning duration for farmed transmog items, personally I would just use 2 days. You could also use 1 day, but I wouldn't do 12 hours personally. You could do it if you like to, but I set it to 2 days. And of course I would like to post 1 transmog item of each. I don't want to post duplicated items because it doesn't make sense to me. If you post 1 transmog item and it gets sold and you have some in your banks left, then you could also restock your bag in order to repost the items which are left at the auction house. Okay, but we're gonna talk about the restock option later on when we're gonna talk about the TSM banking system. But keep that in mind, auctioning duration for farm transmog items, 1 day or 2 days, or even if you want 12 hours. The post cap, of course, I would like to set it to 1. Amount caps and bags, keep it to 0. And don't post after this many expires, I keep it also to 0. Set bid at percentage amount of the current cheapest price. You could also use, like I said before, for the materials, maybe 80% of the current price is bid auction, but also here I'm not a big fan of the bid auction percentage at all. Undercut amount, on materials I have said just keep it to 0 copper, but on region specific items, so items which aren't region wide, I'm a bit vintage there and I like to undercut people by gold amounts normally, okay? So I will change it to 1 silver. So if I post my transmog items, I will undercut the already posted items from other players by 1 silver. And now we go to the normal and to the maximum price. Instead of the DB market in my material dragonflight group, I don't want to deal with the DB market value at all when it goes to the transmog stuff, okay? Because the DB market could be manipulated very fast. Let's say we have the chromatic sword in here, and I already explained the DB market is the average realm value based on the last 14 days. Let's say you are the only person who posts the chromatic swatch on your VM. And instead of, let's say, the market value of 32,000 gold, you will post that item for 200,000 gold over multiple weeks. The DB market would also stood at around 200,000 gold. And this is pretty easy to make. So you could also have some players on your VM who already manipulated specific market values of transmog items, and then the DB market value has the triple price of, let's say, the region market value average. So instead of 200,000 gold, the region market value average would stood at 74,000 gold. And that's why I'm personally not a big fan of the DB market value at all when it goes to VM specific things. You can use the DB market also if you want to, but for me, I don't use it on Transmog. When it goes to materials, it's a bit different because materials are still region-wide. Okay, so which sources would I like to use on Transmog item, which could be farmed, is the DB region market average, so the region market value average, and the region sale average. Region sale average and the region market average, we already talked about that in my first video, so I won't explain it again what these sources actually calculate. Okay, so for the normal price and for the maximum price, we could also use the max function again. Let's say I would like to have for my normal price either 150% of the DB region market average, or I would like to have 115% of the DB region sale average. Okay, which means the highest value inside the brackets gets defined as our normal price for transmog items. We copy the string in here and paste it into the maximum price again. Okay, and then we do the same like in the material price. Pretty simple. You just adjust the percentage numbers to a higher value. So instead of 150%, you could also use 130%, 135%, fully up to you. 130% of DB region market average, or 130% of DB region sale average. And the same goes to the minimum price, but now we have to go a bit lower because we also would like to sell transmog items. Okay, so let's say the region market value average is at 74,000 gold and the region sale average is at around 22,000 gold. I already explained the region sale average is a bit more accurate compared to the price people would pay on average for an item. So the region market value average is just the average value across all VMs, but the region sale average is the average value which gets paid for an item. Okay, so I would like to either use in here, let's say 55% of the DB region market average, or like I said before, the DB region sale average is a bit more accurate, so don't keep a too low number of the region sale average in here. Or I would like to use, let's say, 80% of DB region sale average. But we don't use the max function in here. In our minimum price, we will take the min function. So instead of the highest value, we're gonna take the lowest value. So if 55% of DB region market average is lower compared to 80% of the DB region sale average, we will use DB region market average as our minimum price. And if not, we will take the 80% of DB region sale average. But we would also have to adjust this little string in here, because it could also happen that you farm some transmog items where the DB region sale average is pretty low. Let's say the DB region sale average is at 50 gold only, And it could happen that the 80% of DB region sale average by an item with 50 gold of DB region sale average calculates a minimum price which is lower than the current vendor sell price. And of course, you don't want to post your auctions based on a price which is lower than the current vendor sell price if you would sell it at a vendor. Okay? And in order to prevent that, we would have to change the min calculation in here. We're gonna copy this, okay? We change it to max, open bracket, and then we say as example, 250% of the vendor sell value, okay? And then we make a comma, then we paste the previous created string in here, min, 55% DB region market average, 80% DB region sale average, closed bracket, and then another closed bracket. So what it actually does, first of all, we check which value is lower, 55% DB region market average or 80% DB region sale average. And if we have done this calculation, we compare the price of max 250% vendor sale and then the source which got calculated in here. So is then 250% vendor sale higher than the calculated min price we did before? If so, we're going to use the 250% vendor sale as our minimum price. But if this calculation is still above the vendor sale price of 250%, we will use this calculation as min price for the transmog items, okay? And this is just how to prevent that we won't post any items below the vendor sale price, because instead of posting them below that value, you could also run to the vendor and just sell it there, okay? So we have that done in here. Also here, canceling options, cancel undercut auctions. Of course, I would like to cancel the undercut auctions if I got cancel scanned, if I got an undercut like that brain neck, but cancel to repost at a higher price. Personally, on transmog items, I don't want to do that. So we got the next operation done for farm transmog items. And if we hover over the singing crystal eggs as example here, we have a minimum price of 13,591 gold, a normal price of 57,000 gold and 500 gold, and a maximum price of 65,000 gold, calculated based on these fancy strings. Okay, so keep in mind, the minimum price doesn't mean you will sell it for 13,000 gold only. You will sell it to a value between your minimum price and your maximum price. Okay, same goes for example at the blue dinner suit. Your minimum price in case here would be 85,000 gold and 454 gold, the normal price 390,000 gold, and also the maximum price of 441,000 gold. Also here, the chromatic sword, the last example for the farm transmog auctioning operation, our minimum price is calculated by 18,000 gold, around 18,000 gold, the normal price at around 85,000 gold, and the maximum price 96,000 gold, 439. Alright, we have done the next part, and this is the farmed transmog items. So we have done this and we have done that group. So we're gonna use the pet group now, and that is pretty simple. Since we have already defined a group for transmog items, we could also use the exact same calculation for the pet list. Okay, we're gonna use the farm transmog item. You click on that little copy duplicate icon in order to make a copy of that. We rename it to pets base item. Like I said before, we have two groups. One time for the base item version of the pets and one time for the pet level 25 ones. Okay, I'm gonna rename it here pet level 25. And since the pets don't have separate market values, so the level 1 pet has the same values like the level 25 one, we would have to adjust some higher set prices to the level 25 group instead of the base item group, okay? So we go back to the operation tab, auctioning operation, and here we got the pets base item auctioning operation, okay? We don't change anything in here at all. We could use the same. You could also, if you want to, you could also set that here a bit higher. Instead of 55%, you would like to have 60%, but I will stick it to 55%. And here, send help, 55 here. And then we just attach the colpete operation to the base item pet group. But since we need also the auctioning operation for the level 25 ones, we're going to rename it to pets level 25. And since we have different values currently when it goes to pets, like the bush chicken in here, these gets posted for around 30,000 gold, and the level 1 ones for around 21,000 gold on my win. You could just use higher normal prices, higher maximum prices, and higher minimum prices when it goes to the percentage amounts, okay? So instead of 115% of DB region market average or the DB region sale average, we would just here like to use a normal price of, let's say, 150% of DB region market average or 150% of the DB region sale average, depending on which source is higher. Also here you could use then the maximum price of 185% of DB region market average and also 180% of DB region sale average, okay? Then the max vendor sale, of course, we don't have to worry about the vendor sale in here because 55%, so even 55% of DB region market average or the region sale average is mostly, in 95% of every case, always higher than the vendor sale price of a pet because the pet itself has, if I remember correctly, a vendor sale price of 1 silver or even 0 copper because it doesn't have a vendor sale price, okay? So we could also adjust the minimum price for the pet level 25, let's say, even if it has a vendor sale price, let's use 400%, even if the vendor sale doesn't matter at all here. But we could also adjust this here to 85% of the DB region market average instead, or even here, 110% of the DB region sale average, depending on which one is the lowest part, okay? But you could also, so we could use the string here, no worries, nothing wrong with it. We could also duplicate this one again and just adjust some other things in here. We could still use 150% of DB region market average and 115% DB region sale average, but we could also add fixed gold values to these sources, okay? As example, if you want to stick to the 150%, you could also say, okay, 115% plus I want to have a bonus of 30,000 gold. But also here, then DB region sale average plus 30,000 gold. The same here, the maximum price would be 130% of DB region market average plus, let's say, 40,000 gold. And also here plus 40,000 gold too. Okay, same for the vendor cell. You could also say here, okay, I want the vendor cell included plus, let's say, 5,000 gold. Or min 55% DB region market average plus 5,000 gold too. Okay, and here, of course, 2. Give me a second. Like that. Also, just examples. You could use lower values, lower fixed gold values, or even higher ones. But please, also here, try to stay a bit realistic. No one would like to pay 5 million gold for a bush chicken which just has reached the max pet level. But for now, I will remove this one in here, and we stick to that calculation for the pets level at level 25. For the pets level 25. So, detail, add the operation to the group, to the subgroup of pet level 25. But we have to adjust something. I made a mistake yesterday when it goes to grouping the pet level 25 ones in order to filter them properly in your one post scan or the cancer scan. Of course, nothing is wrong if you use the item level version of the bush chicken, but let's say you have also added the base version of the same pet, so the level 01, you would don't get the current minimum, maximum and normal price sources based on the pet level 25 one. Don't ask me why, I think it's just a little bug in TradeSkillMaster, but in order to get the different auctioning operation prices, so if you have a look on here, 80,300 gold is the min price even with pet level 25, but also on the base item version. So we always use the base item auctioning operation even if we have added a different one in here, okay? But in order to actually get the pet level 25 one operation, we remove the bush chicken in here, and then we select the specific item for battle pets, okay? And then we add the battle pet bush chicken level 25 in here, and then we get also the different values based on that operation. So, little example here of cost 2. We compare the min buyout price here, 8,300 gold, and here we have the min buyout price of around 11,000 gold now. Okay, so now the auctioning operation works properly like it should do it, even if you have selected the item level version, but somehow TradeSkillMaster has a little bug in here currently. I guess it's a bug. Okay, so we have added the operation of cost to here into the pet level 25 subgroup. So we also have the pet's base item operation, also the pet level 25 auctioning operation created. Also here, cancel the auction when you got undercut, yes. Personally, would you like to repost it for a higher price? Nah, don't do it, okay? But of course you could do it too if you want to. So we have the pet group done too for the auctioning operation. We got here the min normal and max price. We also got the min normal and max price for the base item of the bubbling pustule. I hope I pronounced it correct in English. And also for the dire horn hatchling. Then we would have to go to the profession group. And here it's likewise the same with the pet group. We just create one auctioning operation where we use the crafting source also for the prices, but we could also copy these and just add them to another group in here. So we go to the operation tab, auctioning operation, hit the plus icon and name it enchanting tomes, for the tomes first, okay, these ones here. Then we add the detail tab. I don't want to ignore it anywhere, but I would like to add it to the subgroup of the illusions, so the tomes. The posting price, I would like to post them for 24 hours, and I would also post one of each into the auction house. Also here, amount kept in back 0. This one here with the for the expires also 0. Undercut amount, I would like to use 1 silver again, and we could also use the min and normal price in here for the tomes too. So we are a bit lazy in here, we just use the same normal price and also the same maximum price. Okay, we're gonna adjust it here now because I see I have copy and pasted it for the 25 ones. So we also just use a bit lower in here, like in the other operations something around 130% or 135% of DB reach market average and the DB region sale average here. Also at our normal price, let's take 115% of the DB region market average or the 115% of the DB region sale average, depending on which source is higher. But now we have to change the minimum price, and like I said before, we are crafting these items, so we also have the crafting information, how much would we have to pay on average in order to craft it, and we could use the crafting source in here. Let's say we just use crafting, so 100% crafting, it's the same like crafting, okay? We use 100% crafting as minimum price, which means we would use 1088 gold and 96 silver in order to post it at our minimum price. But this wouldn't make sense because we also get the 5% auction house cut. Like I already explained in calculation, the item value of all that items. So if you would set it for 1288 gold currently, you wouldn't get this amount into your mailbox. You also would get a cut of 5% of the current price. So what we're gonna do here, if you want to use the lowest value you could possibly make in order to not run into loss, okay, is 100% crafting divided with 0.95. And if we hover over that sum right now, we have a minimum price of 2113 gold and 48 silver. So if you would like to get at least the crafting cost of 2007 gold and 80 silver back, you would have to sell it as a minimum of 2113 gold. So this is basically the simplest, does it pronounce it correctly? The simplest string in order to calculate the minimum price of any crafted stuff. Okay, but you could also take it a bit higher. Let's say you want to have 100% crafting divided by 0.95, but I would also like to have a little profit in here of, let's say, 50% crafting. So we have the minimum price here of 2414 gold instead. Okay, so 100% crafting divided with 0.95 and then a little profit for yourself of 15% crafting. Nothing wrong with doing it that way, but for me I would even go to the lowest value, and this is 100% crafting divided with 0.95. And also keep in mind, I haven't told that previously, the default calculation for the crafting cost for the item value and such doesn't consider resourcefulness or multi-craft. Okay, so these are just the default calculation without any of these effects. You could add crafting operations and auctioning operation with some adjusted calculation in order to calculate resourcefulness and multi-craft, but I don't recommend that now at start. If you're new with TradeSkillMaster, I may make a video on how to calculate all that stuff, but not in my TSM deep dive guide series, okay? Because this would need at least 1 hour again in order to explain all that stuff on how to calculate these sources too. Okay, keep in mind, crafting, so the crafting source doesn't calculate resourcefulness or multi-craft by default. Okay, but we also have created the next operation for our first crafted stuff. So the min price is at 1200 gold, around that value. 4137 gold is normal price, and the maximum price is at 4857 gold. Canceling the options, up to you. Would you like to cancel it for repost? Yes or no? Also here, I'm not a big fan of reposting it for higher values. If you would like to do so, just keep it to activate and add a repost threshold 2. Cancel undercut auctions, of course, set it to yes, because you would like to repost them if you got an undercut. Then we have added it to the illusion one, and now we just copy the one for the next crafted item, and this would be the band, the finger in here. Okay, copy it and rename it to Java Crafter Ring Max Rank. Okay, because we have the maximum rank of item level 528 item level. So here basically it's just the same. You just rename this one and add it to the other subgroup of the finger rank number 5. Select the group and add it. So here you got the minimum price of an average of 424 gold brain deck in order to get at least the average crafting cost back of 403 gold. The normal price is set to 964 gold and the maximum price to 1131 gold. Of course, if you want to have some higher values, just change the percentage amount if you're in your maximum price and in your normal price. So, we have done the profession auctioning operations too. Alrighty, last but not least, we also have the Raid-Boe TSM group, and we would like to create also for that group an auctioning operation. But before we start with that, I want to say something. It's gonna be a big mess because the DB region market value average, so the regional price, is mostly not that accurate in order to only use this source for our minimum price at least. Okay, so before we go into the auctioning operation, I will give you a few examples on why the DB region market value average isn't that good if we only want to use that source in order to define our prices. Okay, so we open our bag and we have a look on the plate head mythic version, the Captured Earthen's Iron Horn. The region market value average is at around 592,000 gold, which is a lot of gold, it is really. But since we don't have any DB region sale average data on any of the current Raid-Boes, we can't use the DB region sale average source in any of our auctioning operation prices. Okay, but let's say you would like to use 70% of the DB region market average, which is normally a kinda good price for most of these items. Okay, but still the 70% is way too high compared to the Ream prices of most of the high pop and full pop Reams. So I'm here on Blackmore, it's a high pop Ream, I would say it's a high pop Ream, and you see the recent value of these items is at below 400,000 gold, so it's a big difference compared to the region market value average. Okay, so keep in mind the region market value average is at, let's say, around 600,000 gold. Okay, and now we go into Undermine Exchange. This is a web browser where we could compare any item and any values across all Reams. Okay, so here's an example. I have selected the Ream Blackmore, but you could also use any US Reams or any Europe Reams. And we have a look on the Captured Earthen's Iron Horn prices across all Reams. And you already see here the current cheapest price on Europe is at 333,000 gold. Okay, and if we scroll down, we also got the list in here of all Europe Reams, and here you will find the cheapest ones. So you see the Mythic Head BOE already gets listed for below 350,000 gold of most of these full and high pop servers, and then it goes a bit up to 270,000 or 390,000 gold and up to 400,000 gold. Okay, but since we also have some low pop servers, so let's say Reams with below 40,000 players, you also got some higher values on these ones with over 600,000 gold here, and that is the reason why the DB region market value average tends to be not that accurate enough in order to use this source only on high pop or full pop realms. If you play on a if you play on a low pop server, if you play on the low pop realm, you could also use the DB region market average, because the value compared to the current prices there is identical. Okay, but not if you want to play on a full pop or high pop server. So there we would like to also consider the DB market value, or maybe also the DB recent value. And like I said at the start of the video, we're gonna talk about an auctioning operation when it goes to farming these items on your own. So we're not talking about any min, normal, and max prices when it goes to flipping or sniping. For that, we're gonna do another video where we also have another TradeSkillMaster profile and also another values and sources within these operations. Okay, so I want to try to make an auction operation which still works with the current prices, even if you're playing on a full pop or high pop server where the prices are cheap like that. Okay, so even if I have told you DB market, I'm not a big fan of it when it goes to realm specific items, because you could also manipulate that value pretty fast. We still would have to use that in order to post the current Raid-Boes properly. Okay, and also in order to calculate the prices properly too. So we're gonna go back into the game, and we would like to start with the mythic group no bonus stats. Okay, so we go back here to the auctioning operation, and then we add a new one, and let's call it BOE mythic no bonus stats. Okay, posting tab. I would like to post them for 1 day, set the post cap to 1, cap them backs, and after that many expires, keep it to 0. Undercut amount, I'd like to still use 1 silver. And now, first of all, we want to define the normal price and the maximum price. And here, you could either just use the DB region market value average, nothing wrong with it, but you could also combine the DB market or the DB recent already into your normal and max price. So we use the max function again. And for our normal price, we would like to use as example 150% of DB region market average, or let's say 110% of the DB market, or maybe also 110% of the DB recent. But you really don't have to do that. It's just, if you want to do it. If not, it's also okay. Okay. Okay, how many times do I say okay? Holy moly. Okay, again, fuck. So, max price already done, normal price already done. Max 150% DB reach market average, I forgot the percentage icon in here. Or 110% DB market, or 110%, I already forgot it here, what the heck? 110% of DB recent. Same goes for the maximum price, but here we just adjust the percentage amounts to something like 130, maybe here then 125, and also here 125. Okay, then we go to the minimum price, and here, like I said before, we also want to consider the DB market and or the DB recent too. So first of all, we would also like to change the max function into a min function. And here we would like to use either, let's say, 70% of the DB region market value average, or maybe also 85% of DB market, or the 85% of the DB recent value. I'm gonna copy this little string in here, and we're gonna make an example. Okay, 70% of DB region market average. We're gonna add the mythic no bonus stat operation to the correct group here, no bonus stat only please. And then we also have a look. Let's say our minimum price is defined only by the 70% of DB region market average. And like I said before, 70% is already fine for most of the items, but currently not for the raid BOEs. So you see here, 70% would be 414,000 gold, 922 gold. And this is way much more compared to the current min buyout or the recent value on Blackmore. And let's say a value of over 400,000 gold as minimum price is also way too much for most of the full and high pop servers. If we see, they get listed here for below 350,000 gold. Okay. Then we're gonna go back to the operation tab and we're gonna change our min price in here to min 70% of the DB region market average, 85% of DB market, or 85% of DB recent. And then we have a look on the group tab again, and of course, if you want to have higher set percentage amounts, just change the percentage amounts in your auctioning operation, okay? No bonus stats, and I would like to check my min price now. And the min price says, okay, I would like to post it for a minimum value of 200,097 and 500 gold, which is okay if we also compare the current posted prices from all the other full and high pop servers. Okay, so we have done the first operation for the mythic BOEs without any bonus stats. And the good part here is we could just copy that one and use it also for the heroic ones without bonus stats. So we rename it to BOE heroic and also no bonus stats. And all we have to do in here is just to add the operation to your no bonus stats subgroup of the heroic group. Select the group, here cancelling. Of course, cancel the undercut auctions, yeah. Personally, cancel to repost higher even on the current raid BOEs. No, I don't want to do that. And also here, no, I want to do it too. Then we have a look on the heroic one. The min price in here would be calculated by 48,000 gold 619, which is still okay because the region market value average is at around, let's say, 70,000 gold, but we could also have a look on the heroic BOE in here. So the web acolytes fit 616, and if we compare the cheapest prices in here, they get posted for around 50,000 gold most of the time. Okay, so 50,000 gold and the min price of 48,000 gold is more than okay. Then we would still have to create two last auctioning operations for the BOEs with bonus stats. And we make it pretty simple in here. Let's say we want to create first the heroic BOE operation with bonus stats. So we just copy the previous one, change the name to heroic BOE with bonus stats, like this. And then we just assign some higher set values like in our pet level 25 auctioning operation. So let's say we would like to use max 150% of DB region market average or 110 of DB market or DB recent. And then we just add a fixed gold value again for our normal price. Plus I would like to use either a fixed gold value like 50,000 gold, but we could also use the price source of DB region market average here. So I would like to use the default calculation like for without any bonus stats, plus I would like to have some bonus gold of, let's say, 25% of the DB region market value average based on that price, based on that BOE. Okay, so 25% of the DB region market average added to the current normal price too. Then also in our maximum price we will add, let's say, 35% of the DB region market average. Last but not least, minimum price, we could also use the minimum price string from the no bonus stat group, and here in addition we just add, what do we want to use in the minimum price? Maybe 10 or 50%, let's take 10% of the DB region market average value of the specific BOE. Okay, so BOE heroic bonus stats. Please attach it to the current group in here for this one. And we also have a little look on that. So if we compare, let's say, the minimum price of the heroic BOE without any bonus stats, it's around 48,000 gold. And the minimum price for that one with avoidance is 55,000 gold. Our normal price is 125,000 gold. And without any bonus stats, it's at 108,000 gold. If you are fine with that values, keep it like this. If you think you could also take some higher values in it, then we go to the posting tab again, and we may add, let's say, 35 or 40. Let's take 40% here, then here 50%, and maybe also for the minimum price, if you think it's pretty low, then take 15 or 20% DB region market average as little bonus. Okay, so the adjusted values in here would be now 62,000 gold is minimum price for an BOE with avoidance, 135,000 gold is normal price, and our maximum price for that item is at 142,000 gold. So what we're gonna have to do now is also we copy this little operation here, rename it for the current Mythic BOEs too. Mythic with bonus stats. And all you have to do in here, of course, go to the detail tab, add it to your bonus stats subgroup of the Mythic BOEs. Since we don't have any BOE in our group in here to have a look on the prices of min, normal and max, no worries, it would still be okay. Or give me a second, we could also have a look on if we find one in our base group of specific items. So like I said before, the base group contains any item we have seen previously. So we just go to the browse tab in here, and what we do now, we shift left click on it and have a look on all the items in here. Okay, so if there's something with avoidance, leech or socket, we should get them here in our base group now. So, search for the item. Oi, that's a lot. Leech, speed, but... here. Mythic with leech. Okay, we select that one. Select the group where we like to move it. Mythic with bonus stats. Select the group. Move that one item. Okay, we got an item with bonus stat in here, and now we also have the min, normal, and max price. So, the minimum price for a leech BOE mythic version would be 416,000 gold. The normal price would be 980,000 gold, and also the maximum price 900,078 gold. If you think maybe these prices are a bit overpriced for the normal and max price, then just go to the operation tab, auctioning operation, BOE mythic bonus stats, and then just lower the values in here if you like to. So instead of 40, let's take 30 then for the mythic ones, maybe 40 here as maximum price, and as minimum price, maybe keep it to 10% or maybe 15%, okay? Then we have a look again on the bonus stat group for the mythic subgroup, and now we have 386,000 gold as min price, 859,000 gold like that, and as maximum price 980,000 gold. So that's it. We have created all the different auctioning operations for all the different items we have in our bags currently. We have added them into our TSM groups. We have attached all these operations to our groups. So we have a look in here. This has an auctioning operation, that too, here too, here too. Profession tab, here. Everything has the auctioning operation. So, what we're gonna do now, oh, we got the default one in here. Okay, I'll remove the default one. So we only have the farm transmog item auctioning operation in here too. Then, of course, whenever you do something in TradeSkillMaster, if you change something in your operation, if you add items to your group and you have done your work in TSM, always make a reload before you run into the auction house or to the vendor, or if you do any other stuff in TSM, okay? I'm gonna do a reload and then we run our first post scan in the auction house and we're gonna try to sell one of these items, of course, okay? And in my next video, when we talk about the crafting operation, we may also have a look on the mailbox and have a look too, of course, if we have sold some of these items. Okay, so I will make a reload and then we will see us again. Alrighty, we are back in the game and of course we're gonna visit the auction house in order to run our first post scan. You go into the auction tab on the auction house, so this is the place where you wanna do your post scans with the TSM groups in order to post your items. You could also use the option post items from back, so you just select some items you would like to post currently instead of everything and then post selected. And it also considers the operations which got created before if they are attached to the current groups where also the items are added, okay? You could also do the same from the backs if you shift left click on anything. Let's say I would like to only post the Awakened Earth right now, shift left click on it, and you also do a one post scan for only that specific item. But we have created all these fancy groups now, so I would like to say we're gonna minimize the group in here first. I deselect the base group all the time because I don't use it, like I said in my previous video, and then we select the master group, left click on it, right click on it again to minimize it, and then we run the first post scan. It might take some few seconds until everything is scanned, but after that we can run the post button too in order to post all that stuff. So here already you can see the item name, the buyout price currently, so the price you would like to post that item for right now, also the seller name of all the others, and then also the information about would you like to undercut it right now, or is something above your max price and you post it on your max price, or also here if the frozen claw mantle isn't posted yet, based on the item level variation, you post it at your normal price, which is also displayed in your TSM auctioning tooltip data. Of course, you could also have a look on the all auctions data here, so you could also double click on the resilient crystals here as example, and then you have the buyout prices of all the different quantities too, which got already posted. Okay, so we go back into the auctioning log and then we hit the post button until everything is posted in here. And like I said before, in the next video we're gonna have a look on the mailbox and maybe we have sold something from what I have posted now. Okay, post all that stuff and then we are done. And now if we look into the My Auctions tab, you also see all the posted auctions you have currently. So you could also sort it by the item name in here. You could hide auctions with any bids on it or show only auctions with bids. Or if you have sold something, you could also filter them to only show the sold auctions. You could also filter this list in here based from your groups. As example here, Farm Transmog group only display this one, so only these get displayed from these 3 selected groups. So select all groups, and also you could filter them here by the duration. You also have a look in here. You got 0 sold auctions, so 0 silver isn't coming to your mailbox, but also I have 26 posted auctions currently with an overall value based on the current buyout price of 2,000,000 gold, 635,000 and 21 silver. Okay, I would say I'm done with the next video. In the next video, like I said before, we're gonna talk about the crafting operations. But first of all, I would like to say again, thanks for watching, even if I make such long videos, but I just couldn't do any short guide videos for TSM when it goes to all the little things. I just need some time to explain everything, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's how it is. If someone would like to learn all the stuff of TSM, you may have to watch some video guides which are longer than 30 minutes. It is how it is. Okay, like I said before, I would say thanks for watching, have a wonderful day, have much fun with gold making, and of course, we see us in the next video. Bye.